It was supposed to be the best summer of my life. The last summer before real responsibility, before work, before the world sank its teeth into me. I had just graduated. We all had. And we wanted something unforgettable. In Wyoming, there's this tradition. At least we called it that. Climb a plateau, drink at the top, celebrate freedom. We thought it made us fearless. We thought nothing could touch us. There were 4 of us. Me, Alexandra, Nick, Jack. We'd been friends forever. Forever feels shorter now. Alex had the Jeep, the only car that could make the trip. She worshipped it, her freedom machine. She drove while the rest of us joked, drank, and planned the climb. The Flaming Gorge lookout was breathtaking. Miles of endless wilderness, a silence so vast it felt alive. I should have known then. Silence like that isn't empty. It's waiting. We found a spot off Highway 141, jagged rock walls reaching into the sky, perfect for climbing, perfect for dying if you slipped. We climbed anyway. 15 minutes up, not too hard, just enough to make you sweat, make your heart pound. When we reached the top, the world opened, an ocean of land, no fences, no people, just us and the sky. We laughed, we drank, we felt infinite. But then I saw it, a red pickup truck. It tore down the highway faster than it should. Then it braked, hard, stopped, and reversed. I pointed. The others saw it too. We went quiet. The truck turned, drove into the gravel lot below, right where Alex had parked her Jeep. The man got out, tall, broad. From that distance, he was just a silhouette. But there was something in the way he moved. Like he wasn't curious. Like he already knew what he wanted. He circled the Jeep, checked the windows, tried the doors. Like it belonged to him, Nick shouted, "Hey!" His voice echoed across the rocks. The man froze. Then he looked up, found us, and smiled. He waved. I wanted to believe it was over, that he'd leave, but he didn't. He kept pulling at the handles, kept testing the glass. Jack shouted, "We're armed!" It was a lie. We had nothing. But the man only laughed. And then, he shouted back, "Me too, kiddo." He raised something into the air. Metal caught the light. A gun. My stomach turned to ice. The sound came next, glass shattering. Alex's Jeep screamed as the window broke, and we scrambled down the rock like terrified animals. My hands slipped, my knees tore open, but all I could hear was that glass and his laugh. We hit the ground running, but he was waiting. The gun leveled at us. "Stop." We froze. "Drop your phones. Wallets. Now." We obeyed. One by one, our lives hit the dirt. Our pictures, our contacts, our proof of existence, all in his hands. I saw his face then, older, weathered, a beard like tangled wire, eyes that didn't blink. He wasn't nervous, he wasn't rushed. He'd done this before. He picked up our things, punctured the Jeep's tire with a knife, then walked away, back to the red truck. No license plate, no trace. And he was gone. The silence returned, but it wasn't the same silence as before. This one clung to us, heavy, watching. We drove as fast as we could after fixing the tire, but he had vanished. Like the desert swallowed him whole. The police couldn't help. No license plate, no fingerprints, no face that stood out. Just another ghost on the highway. Alex raged. Nick drank. Jack pretended he wasn't scared. But me? I can't stop hearing it. That voice. "Me too, kiddo." Sometimes I wake at night gasping, certain I hear an engine outside my window. Sometimes I dream of red paint and broken glass. And sometimes I think about his eyes. How calm they were. Like he hadn't chosen us at random. Like he was waiting. For us. And if that's true, then maybe he's still waiting. For me. Everyone warned us, don't stop in New Mexico, don't talk to anyone, don't get lost. It wasn't paranoia, it was survival. My brother Luke and I thought we were smart. Cross-country road trip, California to New Jersey, a U-Haul stuffed with his life. 2 kids chasing adventure. We promised our parents we'd be careful. Gas up before the state line. Drive straight through, never stop. But promises mean nothing when the gauge hits empty. We miscalculated. The U-Haul ate fuel like a dying beast. And before we knew it, the tank was bleeding dry in the desert, 40 miles from the next station. That's when the GPS whispered salvation. A town, 10 miles ahead. No choice. The road led us into stillness, a place so small it shouldn't exist. Houses collapsed into themselves, shops half buried in dust, and not a single moving car. The air felt wrong, not hot, not heavy, just watching. The gas station sat on the corner like a mouth with broken teeth. 2 pumps, a flickering sign, and a man leaning against the doorframe smoking. Luke filled the tank. I stayed in the passenger seat, eyes on the man. He stared back, unblinking, like he was already memorizing me. Inside, the clerk smiled too wide, too long. He asked Luke questions. Where are you headed? How long will you be on the road? How much are you carrying? Luke lied. He had to. But the man's eyes stayed bright, like he knew the truth anyway. He gave directions back to the highway. 17 miles in the wrong direction, through desert roads that didn't exist on the map. He swore it was the only way. Luke walked out pale. Something's off, he whispered. We drove and drove. But no matter what turn we took, we circled back. Streets bent where they shouldn't. Roads ended in walls of dust. We could see the highway right there, but we could never reach it. It was like the town wouldn't let us go. Signal died. GPS spun like a broken compass, and that's when panic set in. I felt it in my chest, like drowning in air. We weren't lost. We were trapped. Luke pulled over, knuckles white on the wheel. I told him we couldn't ask anyone else. He told me we had no choice. We were already prey. Then the sound. A truck. It rolled up beside us, coated in desert dust. The window slid down. A man leaned out, not smiling, not blinking. You're not taking that route, are you? Luke froze. He described the clerk's directions. The man's face darkened. That road doesn't take you to the highway. It takes you out there, to nothing, to them. I asked who them was. The man didn't answer. He just leaned closer. You'd be stripped clean before the sun set. Don't go, don't trust them. He rattled off new directions. A gravel road hidden behind a crumbling billboard. 1 mile out of town. The real on-ramp. Then he drove away. Fast. Like he didn't want to be seen helping us. Luke followed his instructions. And sure enough, the road was there. Almost invisible. A snake curling into the desert. It felt endless. Every turn tighter. Every shadow longer. But then, the highway opened before us. I wanted to cry. We made it. We lived. But as we merged onto the asphalt, I looked back. At the horizon. At that little town baking in silence. And I swear, I saw the red glow of taillights. Not one. Not 2. But many. Like trucks waiting. I told Luke. He said I imagined it, but I don't think I did. I think that clerk wasn't lying. I think that road really did lead to something. Something they wanted us to find, and sometimes I wonder, what if that other man hadn't stopped? What if we had followed the wrong road? Would they have been waiting at the end, or worse? What if the man who saved us wasn't saving us at all? What if he was just redirecting us? 5 summers ago, Croatia. I thought it would be beautiful. I thought it would be safe. I was wrong. Her name was Pia, half Brazilian, half Croatian, my girlfriend at the time. Fearless, stubborn, alive. She wanted to see her grandparents' hometown, Rijeka, Not a tourist city, not a postcard. A place for locals, a place with shadows. We had no money, no luxury hotels, just the cheapest Airbnbs we could find. Broken locks, thin walls, stale air. But Pia didn't care. She wanted to taste the truth of her blood. The first day was fine. Quiet streets, faded paint, locals staring too long, their eyes heavy. Not curious stares, not kind. Something else. But Pia laughed it off, and I wanted to believe her. The second day, and that's when everything broke. We wandered from the city center. She'd heard about a little restaurant. Cheap, hidden, authentic, the kind of place only locals knew. The walk felt wrong. Each street quieter than the last. Empty windows, empty sidewalks, like we were moving deeper into something that didn't want us. The restaurant was plain, peeling paint, a handwritten menu taped to the glass. But the smell, fresh fish, garlic, smoke, it pulled us inside. We ordered too much food, laughed, poured cheap wine, and for a moment it felt right. It felt safe until they arrived. 5 men, thick necks, shaved heads, the kind of men you cross the street to avoid. But there was no street left to cross. They sat 2 tables away. Loud voices, rough laughter, and eyes that kept flicking toward us. I tried to ignore it, told myself it was nothing. But then Pia went silent. Her fork hovered in the air. Her lips barely moved. We need to leave, now. I didn't understand. I asked why. She didn't answer, just reached for her purse. Her hand was shaking. I tossed bills on the table, far more than the meal cost, and followed her out. The air outside was heavy, wrong. And when I asked again, she finally told me. She understood Croatian, not perfectly, but enough. She heard what they were saying, not jokes, not fantasies, plans. They were talking about us, what they would do to us, how they'd separate me from her, how someone named Luca would handle her. Her voice cracked. I had never seen her afraid before, not like that. I made the mistake of looking back. The 5 men were standing outside, now, watching, grinning, and then they started walking toward us. I grabbed her hand. We ran, not walking fast, not trying to be casual, running. Their footsteps followed, louder, closer. 5 shadows chasing us through the dead streets. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, only move. Every turn felt wrong, every block stretched too long. I thought my chest would burst. And then, light. The city center, shops, cafes, people. The men stopped, 2 blocks back, watching, but not coming closer. Like predators, held at bay by the crowd. We collapsed in a cafe, shaking. Pia's face was white. Her hands wouldn't stop trembling. An old man at the next table leaned over, asked if we were okay. We told him. Every word. He shook his head, called us idiots, said tourists never survived that part of town. When Pia described the restaurant, his expression darkened. He leaned closer, his voice dropped. That place belongs to them. Them. Organized crime. Traffickers. Predators. He said we were lucky. Lucky they didn't take us. Lucky Pia understood. Then he laughed. Not kindly, but the way someone laughs at a funeral. He paid his bill and left without another word. We didn't leave the Airbnb again. We locked the door, closed the curtains, waited for daylight, waited for our flight. The trip was ruined, but at least we lived. Still, I wonder, why did they stop? Why didn't they drag us off those empty streets? They could have, easily. There were 5 of them, 2 of us. So why let us run? I've thought about it for years. There's only one answer that makes sense. They let us go because they wanted to. Because maybe it wasn't about taking us then. Maybe it was about reminding Pia, reminding me, that they could, anytime, anywhere. And sometimes at night when I'm alone, I dream of 5 shadows standing outside my window, waiting, smiling, because if they let us go once, what makes me think they won't come back?